Managing changes. Unexpected events are bound to arise throughout a project, and that include changes. Changes could be due to a variety of things and persons, ranging from unanticipated events during the project to the customer or sponsor to members on your project team or vendors. Even with foresight, full of experience, and all the precaution you could have done, changes will still occur. Thus, as a project manager, your role is to minimize any negative impact changes might bring, especially when it comes to accomplishment of the project's objective. Capable project managers can differentiate the impact of the changes and recognize that the later the change is identified, the larger its consequences are to the accomplishment of the project's objective. Imagine that you are catering food to an event. Changing the menu days before the event is less dire than changing the menu hours before the event, especially when certain ingredients had to be sourced in advance. This is especially true when completed work needs to be redone to accommodate the change. Change of control system. One way of managing system is to establish a change control system process and procedures at the start of the project. It should define how changes will be documented, approved, and communicated. This system must be communicated to all relevant parties. This includes not only the project team, but also the customer, sponsor, and contractors. Agreement regarding how changes should be dealt with and changes requested ought to be in writing to prevent he said, she said situations. When change is requested, the project manager should involve appropriate team members to estimate effects the change will have. This could be estimated costs on the budget or delays in schedule. These consequences must then be presented to the requester and an approval must be gained before proceeding. If the changes have been agreed upon, revise the project schedule and budget to include the additional tasks and costs. In this case, it makes sense for the change control system to include a record of all types of changes, be it pending, approved, or rejected. An effective project manager ensures that team members will not casually make or agree to changes. A team member comes up with a new method of designing a computer software which is different from the customer's original method. And by doing so, it will affect the project cost. Regardless if the cost will increase or decrease, the project manager needs to gain the customer's approval before making the change. A customer is the one who initiates the change. However, instead of going to the project manager, they might go to one of the project members. If the approached member agrees to changes that might increase cost and the customer does not agree to pay for it, in the end, your team will have to absorb the cost and risk overrunning the budget. This is known as scope creep. Another example of scope creep is when team members make changes to their work that results in delaying the project schedule or producing output that does not meet the customer's expectations. Costs are usually the biggest issue when it comes to projects. So doing things like adding slight enhancements that are nice but not necessary, and on top of that adding to the budget and or overrunning the deadline is a fatal mistake. Therefore, it is important for you as a project manager to make it clear to them that changes that impact the project's budget, schedule, and/or output should be avoided. A type of change that might not be apparent is managing the change of the end user. For instance, your project might be to create a new system for the accounting department. Other than delivering this new system, you might oversee getting the users of the system to accept this new system you have created. One way to facilitate the implementation and have the users accept the change is to have open communication and create a climate of trust. On top of getting users to agree that a better system is needed, it is crucial as well to gain their support and commitment. This means information about the change must be shared and communicated promptly, fully, honestly, and regularly. Initiating discussion, particularly in the early stages, is a great way for users to express their concerns and for you to prevent rumors from flying. Of course, do not be defensive and trivialize people's concerns and fears. Remember to empathize and be patient. It is a discussion, not a debate. Since end users will be impacted by the new system the most, it would be helpful to have these users participate in the planning and designing of the new system and how the new system will be implemented. To entice the users further, on top of telling users about the benefits of the new system, you, as the project manager, can offer support and rewards. Change is the only constant. So, it is the project manager's duty to manage changes that occur so that the project does not get out of control.